Good morning. Welcome to another segment of the Tell Like It Is radio podcast. I'm your host, one and only Ro Clark. And Martin Luther King Jr. Day was yesterday. Had a great showcase of basketball. And happy birthday to Dr. King. But one thing I want to take away, one game, was that it was the last game on the schedule, last game of the night. And that I found all the games were good, but this game was pretty interesting, if I say my damn self, especially the first half. Chris Paul returning to Los Angeles. Now, as we all know, that the Clippers went on to beat the Houston Rockets, and James Harden did not play. We all know that James Harden is hurt. He's out for a couple weeks, but it was still overall it was a great game, and the Clippers played a tribute video to Chris Paul, and Chris Paul ended up finishing with 19 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, in 35 minutes. A regular Chris Paul night. But the guy, Lou Williams, just went the hell off, man. He went off for 31 points in 40 minutes. He had 9 assists, 3 rebounds. Blake Griffin went off, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. A lot of other role players contributed as well. My boy Harold West Johnson had some beautiful blocks, jumping out the gym. It was a very good game, man. It was a great game. My only issue is, for one, I don't think Chris Paul deserved a tribute video. I would not have gave him a tribute video. He didn't really do anything for the team, for the organization, besides them making the playoffs since he's been there, and just bringing entertainment to the team, Lob City. That's where it originated from. But other than that, he didn't really do anything besides go out there and just played hard. But it was just entertaining. I don't think that the organization, the team, really accomplished anything, if you ask me, with Chris Paul. So why the hell would you give him a tribute video? He could have been just good with a thank you note, thank you letter after he requested his trade. I mean, as simple as that. But I understand, I understand some teams, the opposing teams, when the former player comes back and they face off against them, they want to play the tribute video just to mess with their emotions, throw them off the game for a little bit. And that's why IT said he didn't want one when he came back to Boston, and that's why he didn't play. Now, with that being said, it was an altercation with the two teams. It was on a court. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul got into it. Bunch of shoving, and then I believe Trevor Ariza got into it with Blake Griffin. He shoved him. Later on, ran back down to the Clippers bench, mouthing off at a hurt freaking Austin Rivers, who was in a boot. Couldn't do anything. Then later on, Patrick Beverly went on to retweet. I forgot what his tweet said. Something about it's a whole different look or something like that. We're not as soft, whatever. But throwing shade at the Houston Rockets. Then, after the game, it was reported, ESPN, the Yahoo, that players from the Houston Rockets, it was James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Chris Paul, had went through a back door because allegedly the Clippers there's a back door where the visitors' locker room is connected to the home team locker room, Clippers locker room. So, of course, Chris Paul been there for a few years, so he knows about that door. And obviously, he went there. He went to try to get through the door, actually, along with James Harden and Trevor Ariza. And they weren't allowed to get through. And it was being reported that it wasn't nothing like a scuffle happened, or it didn't seem like a scuffle was going to happen. It was just a bunch of mouthing off. And, I just felt like, then after all that happened, before I get my thoughts, after all that happened, Chris Paul during an interview, he kind of just brushed it off. You know what I mean? But the whole thing is, I look at it like Chris Paul, he really wanted to win that game. He let his emotions get the best of him. Third, he's the president of the NBPA. So that's not really a way to carry yourself. That was a bad example to set. And I also had a problem with what he did, as in being in the position that he's in the league, being a president, with when the Houston Rockets played the Portland Trail Blazers, and these guys blew him out the water. Chris Paul had a hell of a game, and he laid the ball up with seconds remaining instead of holding on to the ball and showing respect to the team. And Damian Lillard like, damn, what the hell? What the hell was that for? Where'd you get out of that? Yeah, I mean, so it's like stuff like that. It's like you're not setting an example, especially the position that you're in. Being a president of the league should know better. So therefore, your team lost. You want to get the win. You wanted to win. Understand that, and you were just embarrassed. You thought you were going to win. Now, take it for granted, they would have had James Harden. The Clippers would have, the Rockets would have damn sure won this game. It would have been chippy, but it wouldn't have been as close. But with all in all, you know it's gonna be a chippy game. You know it's gonna be emotional. But after the game, you trying to run to the locker room and fight other players. You made yourself look like a damn fool. You made yourself look like a damn fool, Chris. I mean, it's simple as that. But like I said, it was an interesting game. The Clippers got the best of the Rockets, and for the Clippers to be, what are they, 20-20 or 22-21? The Rockets are 30-12. It looked like the Clippers were 30-12 and the Rockets were 22-21. But at the same time, I'm just saying that Chris Paul should have definitely just handled himself differently and carried himself differently in that situation instead of letting emotions get the best of him. But we are all humans. I understand that, but still, like I said, the position you're in, you're not the face of the league, but you have a major role. You're the president of the NBPA. So now, I hear a lot of people commenting and saying, you know, they should. What should they do? What should they do? After all that happened last night. Well, due to the fact that an altercation could have happened if security didn't get in between these guys, no one blocked the door, who knows if they would have fought or not. But since the fact that you ran to the other team's locker room, I feel like, you know, give them a fine. Give them a fine. I mean, if you want to suspend the players that was with him, along with Chris Paul, I just feel like it was very immature on his part. But we all are human. But like I said, the position that he's in, he was just embarrassed that he lost.